Good morning. My name is Ted Clouser, host of Win the Minute, Win the Day, the show that focuses on bringing hope to the chaos. I am super excited today. For the third time, graciously, Josh Lane has been willing to come on and visit with us. This time we want to do it in person to make sure that you heard what he has to say because it's incredible. So Josh Lane is a pioneer in his industry. Over 2 decades ago, he took over the reins of Access Control Devices, Inc., or ACDI. The company specializes in delivering world-class integrated software and hardware solutions through proven innovation, service, and culture. Since 1994, office equipment suppliers have trusted ACDI to provide industry-leading capture, print management, and cost recovery solutions to streamline the complete document life cycle. Through channel distribution and development partnerships with the most prominent copier and printer manufacturers across the globe, ACDI solutions drive efficiency and productivity for thousands of organizations in education, healthcare, government, and beyond. Hashtag Team United. Hashtag Better Than Yesterday. Feed the Wolf that's optimistic and hopeful. These are just some of the things that Josh and his entire team have lived and breathed. And on top of all that, he's a family man, lover of God, and a leader of many. Well, welcome to the show, Josh. It's an honor to have you.
Hey, thank you, Ted. You're going to make me blush.
Well, I try.
It's an honor to be here,
Yeah,
for sure.
well,
For
great.
sure.
Well, let's just jump right in. What's the approach that you take to personally waking up with a go win the day attitude?
Well, I've had 3 chances to answer this question. And I'm trying to be inspirational, but I'm really not. Unfortunately, my day begins with a shot of pre-workout. So if you work out and you need some energy, it used to be coffee, but pre-workout tends to work. So if it's C4, there's a whole bunch of them. Whatever my teenagers are taking at the time, that's what it starts with. That allows me to sit on the couch with my Bible and a devotional most often. And, that's my time to get connected. And the reason I do that, I think it goes back to a Sunday school class I taught probably 20 years ago around choosing your attitude. Mm-hmm. And, we have a faith that teaches us to, love our enemies and pray for those who persecute you. Mm-hmm. And there's not another faith I think is like that. So in order for me to do that and then to maintain consistency at the office, I think that's important for me on a daily basis to plug in with, my Creator.
Absolutely. Well, this year has been challenging for all of us. So how has the pandemic changed your routine? And in what ways do you feel it's been positive for both you and your team?
Well, personally, my family, we have 4 kids. My wife and I are raising 4 kids, 3 teenagers, 1 6-year-old. Selfishly, we really enjoyed and were satisfied in having kind of life put on hold for a little bit. Mm-hmm. So the kids were at home. We ate at the table. We talked at the table. We talked with our neighbors more. We spent more time outside. Felt like maybe we were 4 or 5 decades, previous decades, so we could get to know one another. And it was all about the relationship. So personally, it was I think a value or an added value to our family. Professionally, at first there was a lot of fear in regards to what are we going to do, because as you mentioned and you did so eloquently, we're a technology company, and our software that we deliver is print management and print enablement. So it's around document security, it's around cost savings, accessibility, and accountability. And where those needs were, like I said, not only life was put on pause, but business was put on pause too. And so we kind of we looked at ourselves, and quite frankly, as a team, we got together, and there were a lot of nice to haves and there were a lot of must haves, and we were able to identify that. So in regards to routines, in regards to what was important, we chose to rally around like how to increase value into not only our people, which is most important, but also the partnerships and the customers. And it kind of went beyond a sale, a transaction. Mm-hmm. So I was encouraged by that. We had a lot of different leaders step up in different roles. We created work groups and different initiatives around whether it's customer success or whether it's IT, whether it's cloud services, and gave people an opportunity to focus on something other than coronavirus.
Absolutely.
And we really feel like we got a huge return in that process. So I see that as being a positive. And the goal was going into, let's say, early in April, going into COVID and what it was going to be, whether it was 6 months, whether it was 12 months or 18 months, we wanted to be stronger when we came out on the other end of it. And not that we're out of it completely, but things tend to be opening up. And I feel like our team is well equipped to take on not only the minute or the day, but, the year. So,
Well, that's hashtag better than yesterday, right? It's
amen.
one of the ACDI's slogans, or your slogan. I'm not sure which, but.
Well, actually, so we've embraced that as our mission statement now.
Okay.
So it's better than yesterday. I mean, simple, easy to remember. We recite it quite often,
Where you're competing with only yourself, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, what's a memorable story that you can share about personally winning the day?
And thinking about this, and everyone probably has the same story, that at the third week in March last year, coronavirus hit, and we looked at ourselves and we had a chance to either pray and kind of hope for better things to happen, or we could pray and we could live out our mission of making it better than yesterday, and whatever that looked like. And I kind of mentioned some of the work groups, some of the initiatives, but we put, first and foremost, a slogan out there, Team United, and hopefully to provide comfort in our team that at all costs, we were going to stay as a team, stay united, and we're going to get our vision, our mission, and the initiatives we put in place would look good whether or not we were in lockdown month, 6 months or 18 months. And I think the activities around that, the collaboration, the intent of the different meetings that we set up, whether they were virtual, actually most of them were virtual, or not, really paid off. And it was more of a challenge of not only myself, but our entire leadership team. And then the folks that surprise you, they step up and they lead, and they may not have the title, but they led with a positive attitude. They led with an initiative in a work group. They found a fact or something that we weren't aware of and were able to apply it as a value add to our business. And so that was, I guess the one time and place was the week we shut down. We went remote, had a company-wide video, and it was all about hope and optimism and leadership. So I kind of really celebrate my team on that. They really stepped up.
Wow. Well, clearly you're leading well. And it's interesting. I want to read the list of things you've done over the past year. So you certainly didn't let the pandemic slow you down. You added a new COO. You expanded your paper cut operations into Brazil. You implemented a new storyboard solution, and you're in the middle of several other changes. So what's your secret sauce to making all those things happen during these challenging times?
I'd say divine intervention.
All right.
No, that's part of it, of course, in any business, I think. But I go back to our great people. I go back to our great partners, and being in the field that we're in and working with several development companies, but one in particular, like PaperCut out of Melbourne, Australia. They have some of the brightest minds, around, and we really are challenged by them on a daily basis. So I think that, if you believe iron sharpens iron, which I think most of us do,
absolutely,
then that's a benefit. And then part of that is also, as I said before, great people. I will say great people, and we've surrounded ourselves with a good team. I believe they believe in the purpose. Mm-hmm. They live it out. And I don't remember who said it, but if your teammates love your company, or they have to love your company before your customers will, and right, they kind of live that out. And then we try to adopt in our business a kind of that mindset of that it's all right to fail, mm-hmm, but if you're gonna fail fast and fail forward. That's and right. I think you've put that on.
I've stolen that a few times and given you the credit.
But it's
incredible.
But it's amazing, and I think more about that, and I'll elaborate. Is the fact that 21 years ago, I didn't have as many bumpers, on my lane to direct ACDI or how we manage the team or the channel or anything like that. And, we found our way. Matt Bennett was an integral part in what we've done, the team that we had back then. And now it's like, I look back at our management team and we want to put bumpers out there. And we've got talent across the board, from young to middle to older than I am, if I can say that. I don't know. That I don't want to have too many bumpers up where they're afraid to fail.
Right.
And I think that true innovation, true, genius can come from that. And that's the part of the culture that I want to create at ACDI and that our team really believes in.
That's good. Now you know why I was so adamant about getting Josh on here. These are things that you need to hear, that you want to hear, that make us all better. All right, so John Knotts had given us a series of questions originally when we tried this the first time. So I've been faithful to try to make sure we get these asked. So John's from San Antonio, and some of this we've touched on. I'm going to try to combine all 6 of his questions as best I can. As you've grown, how have you been able to accomplish your excellence, culture, vision, and strategic plan, all while the entire document print industry changed in the blink of an eye due to COVID?
Man, every time I see that or hear it, that's a broad question. And first and foremost, I don't think we've ever achieved excellence. I think we strive for it. And as many people say, that it's a journey. It's not a destination. And we believe that. So whether or not we succeed, just in amazing feats, or if we feel like we struggle in certain areas, we're always, as our mission says, we're trying to get better day after day. And so one of the things we try to apply is focus. We put great team leads along with a lot of feedback from our partners and listening for their unmet needs. So sometimes they may say one thing, but they truly mean another. And we try to train our team to listen for that and then be able to pivot and shift our business to make sure that we can accommodate the needs of the channel. As far as growth during the pandemic, we are fortunate enough to work in all of North America, so Canada, the U.S., and we're in Latin America, Mexico, and South America. We're pretty diverse and have a vast network of partners, which gave us some stability during the last 12, 13 months. But a lot of it's due to the grit and the commitment to the independent dealers and partners that we work with for their communities. They couldn't just fold up shop.
Of course.
So they, in any way possible, were trying to help the community, and whether that was through business or through just a helping hand of cleanup or whatever it may look like, just volunteering. So the vastness of the network allowed us to sustain. And of course, bringing on Greg O'Brien as the COO, I think there was a question about vision versus, being an integrator and so forth. We've always been able to kind of manage our resources and based on capacity and so forth. I think adding a COO gives us more capacity, and obviously we can do more things, because I don't think we lack ideas or vision. And it's not just from us, it's from the culture that's bred. And, you don't have a culture, the company is your culture kind of mindset. And through that, we reached a level that we needed more strategic thinking. We needed somebody to help move the ball a little faster and maybe in a few different areas, at the same time sticking true to our core competencies.
I love it. Well, I love your leadership, but I love your humility through your leadership. I mean, you truly care about your people. It shows. And I've had the opportunity to be inside of your building. I love the energy. I love the passion that your people have and where you're leading them. So well done. Good and faithful servant, right?
Well, thank you. And I commend you for this and, just the positivity that you push, from this LinkedIn Live event, and you're putting yourself out there. There's a lot to be said for that, and more people need to do it.
Appreciate
Thank
that.
you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, so we're coming towards the end of the show, but you've had a successful day. You're ready to kick back. How does Josh Lane personally unwind after winning the day?
You heard that I have 4 kids from ages of 17 to 6.
Right.
And they all play sports, and we all go to church. So basically, Monday through Friday, there's really no downtime. And as soon as my 6-year-old gets bathed, he gets put down. We make sure that 3 teenagers have done all their homework. My wife and I will lay down in bed and watch about 15 to 30 minutes of TV before I fall asleep, and that's it. And my downtime's really early in the morning. Mm-hmm. It's the devotional. It's the exercise, and then it's hit the ground running at the office.
Love it. Well, we did get a comment here live. It's from Mark Hart, who says, ACDI is a very competitive company. For the record, who is the best ping pong player at our company?
That's debatable. I mean, we're going to find out Friday. and we have our annual tournament Friday.
Okay.
But we do have a back-to-back champion by the name of Casey Cobb that is very proud, and there's even a 7-foot cardboard cutout of Casey holding a paddle in our office right now to remind everybody that he's the champ. I think there's going to be a little more competition this year, and we're kind of excited about that.
You probably had people all year during the pandemic practicing for this event.
More so the last 2 months.
Okay, for
guarantee
sure.
it. Yes. And I wish I could ask or message a question back to Mark Hart, being from Kentucky. I wanted to know how they did in the tournament this year. I know March Madness is really big, and we gave away some money for the winner. I don't recall seeing the Kentucky Wildcats being in the tournament.
Uh-oh.
I'd love to hear his response to that.
This is getting big. Well, last week I did a hog call, so we could always do that to end the show. But it's been such a pleasure to have you here in person. Thank you for your continued willingness to be in front of our guests. I know people need to hear what you're saying. So keep it up.
It's an honor. Thank you.
Absolutely. And on that note, go win the day every day.